Thanks for taking the time, Coach. Would you like to go into questions, or do you have a statement?
Yeah. So just thanks for all of you being here. I just wanted to start off and just give our condolences and give our hearts out to the people in Asheville and up in the mountains. We know there's obviously a lot of devastation happening there, and our heart goes out to them. And I know that it's really cool to see a lot of the people in Charlotte and this community just rally behind it. I know my wife is participating in some efforts to help people up there, and it just kind of shows the spirit of this place. But there's a lot of people in need, and we all have a obligation to help out any way we can. So, but again, condolences to those people out there.
All right, thank you, Coach. Let's go to David Newton, followed by Alex Zetlow.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate your words there. There are a lot of people in need up there. I wanted to ask you first about Shaq. I mean, it's not just replacing a linebacker. He's a leader and everything. What will his absence mean for you and the defense?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, David. It's a tough one because I kind of think back to when I first got the job here. Shaquille was one of the first players to come up and meet with me, and he was so passionate about just trying to get to know me, wanting to understand what he needed from me from a leadership standpoint, and he's really exemplified that the entire time we've been here. And he dealt with the adversity last year with his foot, and again now with his leg, now again with his Achilles, and my heart pours out to him. But the one thing I know about him, he's resilient. This guy's got as much fortitude as any person that I know, and I know he'll bounce back from it. And so. In terms of our play, it's it's the next man up. Obviously it's a void in so many ways, and you don't really know how you're going to replace that void. But this league keeps moving along, regardless who's out there, and it's up to these new guys that are coming in to have an impact.
And I want to, did Chad call you? Dave said he called him yesterday after the surgery and asked him how practice went. I was wondering if he called you, and that just sort of speaks to Shaq to me, and he's worried about the team.
Yeah, it certainly does. But no, he did not give me a call. But yeah, he's always involved and always wanting to know what's happening.
And one other thing on Deontay Johnson, as a defensive coordinator, what problems does he cause when you have to prepare for him? I know you don't do it on it now, but just if you had to prepare for him, what problems does he cause?
Yeah, he's a very good receiver. Great route runner. He's very twitchy. He can separate. It's really, really hard for anybody to cover him one-on-one. And so, whenever you have to prepare for a guy like that, obviously it takes resources to make sure that he's not isolated too often and not.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Ejiro. So going back to the inside linebacker spot, Josie Jewell also got injured last week. You had two new guys at the inside linebacker spot. How did those guys perform?
They did well. They did very well. Trevin Wallace got in there, and it was in a matter of plays, and so we didn't really have much time to react. But he did well, and then Claude did a good job when he got in there as well. And those guys did exactly what was expected of them and what they needed to do. And so I got to give a lot of credit to Peter Hansen, the linebackers coach. One thing he did that I thought was great this offseason was that he had all of the guys working through with the mic. And so they all had a chance to work to run the huddle, to get the communication, to go through that process of doing that. And so, I do feel like Trevin and Claude are well prepared to handle the huddle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about Trevin Wallace specifically. He was the one calling the plays out there. As a rookie, I'm sure you're not asked a ton to be a leader immediately, but what have you seen from his leadership this early in his career?
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's not asked a lot from that standpoint, but he's he works. He works. He gets better, and since we've had him, he has not taken a day off. And I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally, he's been here. He's been into it. And he's gotten better, and that's what you've seen. And what we've done with him to have so many different roles, playing some on the ball linebacker, playing some nickel, now playing inside linebacker. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of different things, and it's very rare to see a rookie have that much aptitude and be able to handle all those different roles. And so he's done a great job, and I think his teammates really respect that, and they value him because of all the things that he does and how he prepares.
Thank you, sir.
Now let's go to Darren Gant, followed by Joe Person.
EJ, as you continue to kind of roll guys through that outside linebacker spot, how close are you to kind of knowing what you can expect or knowing what you need to get out of that group?
Yeah, it's a work in progress. We are more concerned right now about trying to get ourselves in more favorable pass rush situations. Those guys are doing a good job on the base downs, but the one thing that we haven't done a good enough job of is getting ourselves into third and longs. And so we're playing a lot of third and mediums, which aren't, the ball's coming out so fast that you're not going to get a chance to get a great rush and really evaluate. And so, our emphasis has got to be better on early downs to see what we can do as a rush group.
Along those lines, how would you kind of evaluate the way Clowney's played through 4 games?
He's been fine. Yeah, he's played fine. You've seen the sack production, or the rush production, I should say. He's missed a couple of sacks, but he's an effective rusher. That's for certain, and he's a playmaker. And it's my job to get him in positions where he's those traits are being featured more often than not.
EJ, good morning. I'm kind of on that same vein that Darren was asking you about. You would do some blitzing last year and often would use Frankie to do so.
Yes.
Do you feel like you have any personnel this year that would even lend itself to a little more blitzing?
Yeah, certainly do. There's certainly, you're always thinking about packages and grouping people together, not only from the standpoint of winning one-on-one rushes, but also like people working together in the rush plan. But, I don't want to get into the details about it just because it's game plan specific. But yes, that's always something that we're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, that's a topic we discussed a lot with you last year, and sacks going hand in hand typically with takeaways. Where do you stand on this group's ability to take the ball away through 4 games?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go back to what I said about the early downs. Like, so much is made about third down and, making plays and making sacks and the fumbles and the interceptions and all that stuff. But, like, to get yourself to those positions, you got to be better on early downs. And so, like, I actually have a higher value on first down because we need to, if we could get people to be, if we limit them on first down, we're going to be playing a lot of pass downs, and that's when those takeaway opportunities are going to present themselves. And so we got to be better on early downs. We got to plan better. I got to do better. We got to play better, and we all understand that.
Thanks.
All right, we got time for a few more. Let's go to Cassidy Hill, Mike Kay, and finish up with Jeff Hawkins.
Hey, Jay. How's it?
There you are.
I'm sorry. Couple of quick things. You mentioned Trevin being able to play so many different roles. What is it that he, I guess, presents maybe different than other rookies that allows him to be that versatile?
Well, he's very intelligent, first and foremost, very intelligent, and works at it. So those 2 traits right there allows him to absorb a lot. And then when you kind of look at the way he's built physically, good size, good length, he can run. And so all of those different things allows you to put him in different situations and different positions.
And then just one more quick one. You always hear about, I guess, the advantages of playing a rookie quarterback, maybe being able to fluster them. What are some of the challenges, especially this early in the season?
Well, the biggest challenge is, one, the scheme is very tough. Coach Waldron and his staff played against them the last couple of years. When I was at Denver, when I was at here last year, I coached with him for multiple years at the Rams, and he's an excellent coach, one of the smartest coaches that I know. And he does a good job with his staff, and that scheme is just tough to play against. So we know we got to be ready to deal with the run game and the play action pass, and then he just has such a great way of designing it and presenting it differently each week. And so that's going to be a huge challenge. And then, in terms of the quarterback, obviously experience is the best teacher for all of us in all we do, but he was drafted number 1 overall for a reason, and so we know that he's a gifted player, and not only with his ability to throw, but with his ability to run as well. And so we have to be ready to defend all that.
Hey, EJ. Good to see you virtually.
Yeah, same here.
I've got a couple of off the beaten path questions for you. One, when Caleb Farley was coming out as a prospect, what did you see about him on tape, and what stood out to you as far as his strengths?
Yeah, I had a lot of love for him as a player coming out. He great physical ability, the ability to move, run, change direction, great ball skills. You know, he was a wide receiver, I believe, when he first went to college and then transitioned to secondary. But yeah, he's a very, very talented player. And there's a reason that he was drafted in the first round. And I still have a lot of belief in that player. You know, obviously, you know, the injuries have held him back. But, you know, I'm excited to work with him, and we'll see how that goes.
And then from a defensive mind, what are the difficulties in covering 21 personnel, especially when motion's used?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how they formational it, and because it's really so many people are 12 personnel now, but they give you 12 looks, they give you 11 looks, they give you 21 looks, and so those are the things that are more challenging because you always have in your mind, like, how do I want to defend when people spread you out? How do I want to defend when you get a two-back set? How do I want to defend when I get one-back sets? All of those different types of things. And so when offenses have the ability to get to all of those different looks from the same people, that's what makes it really hard.
Thank you.
Greetings, Coach. Staying on the Trevin theme, rookie's first start, what is your trust level in him being able to communicate with the defense? And the second part, Swift broke out last week, catching all 7 targets. With Wallace's coverage skills, would that be a key matchup? Thanks.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, no, I have a lot of belief in Trevin, and it's just based on our body of work and our time together and our experience together. And since day one, like we said earlier, you know, he's had the mic and certain opportunities in practice, and so he's been working those mechanics, obviously in the preseason games, and then so he's got a lot of experience on the mic, controlling the huddle, commanding the huddle, and he's done a really, really good job with that. And so a lot of belief and faith, and I know he's going to do a great job. And in terms of Swift, yeah, you know, Swift is a player I've always had a lot of respect for, especially his ability in space and to get to space. And so we know this is a tough player, a tough matchup, and we've got to be ready.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.